Welcome back to Pittsburgh. Strong safety, DeShon Elliott. So, the Pittsburgh Steelers have given DeShon Elliott a 2-year contract extension to remain with the team. He was acquired last offseason in free agency, and he was a major addition to the safety room for the Steelers. And to be honest with you, one of the most underrated players on last year's defense. But first, before I get more into his contract and what it's worth and what he'll do for this upcoming defense, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. Also like this video. Now, let's get right into it. So, DeShon Elliott, per sources, signed a 2-year contract extension, and the deal is worth $12.5 million and $9.21 million in guarantees. So that's a 2-year extension. But in total, it will be a 3-year, $15.5 million deal. This is because Elliott had 1 more year on his 2-year deal that he signed last offseason in free agency. So in total, he'll stick around for 3 more seasons with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So this was a great addition last offseason, and the Pittsburgh Steelers secure him and jump out in front of him becoming a free agent next offseason. And obviously they like this pairing next to Minkah Fitzpatrick, and they keep him around for another more seasons. So this is a short-term but long-term fix at the safety position that we all have been waiting for. So just in general, DeShon Elliott was a major upgrade to the Pittsburgh Steelers defense last season. And in my eyes, outside of maybe TJ Watt and the rushers on the passer, in terms of the defensive line, the biggest surprise was DeShon Elliott. The best player was DeShon Elliott, especially in the secondary, because DeShon Elliott came in on a short-term contract, a 2-year deal, and we didn't know what to expect. Because usually when the Steelers sign the defensive backs to a contract that were worth low money, but you sign them to a short-term deal, they usually don't pan out. They almost never pan out for the Steelers. But DeShon Elliott, you don't really expect too much from him. But he absolutely balled out. He showed up, and he made that contract worth it. And he was a surprise to all of us. We knew he was a hard-hitting safety. We knew he could make some plays. But it just rarely ever happens that when the Steelers acquire someone like that in free agency, that it pans out. So it panned out for the Steelers. And now they have that long-term fix at the safety position. Because he was a baller. He was able to make those hard hits, come up in the box, make them tackles. But he was also someone who was able to get interceptions and seal the game on game-winning plays. He was someone who was able to step up and guard the tight end. We've always needed someone who could do that, who could guard the tight end. We usually put a linebacker on them, but no, now we could put DeShon Elliott, and that's what he did last season. DeShon Elliott was a good partner to Minkah Fitzpatrick. It allowed Minkah Fitzpatrick to move into his natural role as kind of the free safety, someone to roam the field. Even though he didn't put up interception numbers, it allowed him to do what he wants to do and how the Steelers wanted to use Minkah on the defensive side of the ball. Because when you have an do-it-all safety on the field next to him, that allows Minkah to kind of lurk. And even though his numbers didn't match up, it allowed Minkah to make the quarterback scared, to make the quarterbacks maybe think differently of throwing over the middle of the field because Minkah's there. And that's all because DeShon Elliott allowed the defense to play that way because of what he was able to do on the football field. He's basically able to do everything. And I'm saying he's the most underrated player on this defense last year, and now he could step up into that superstar role. To be honest with you, as a safety on this team, I thought he played better than Minkah. So, Minkah Fitzpatrick is one of the highest paid safeties in the NFL. DeShon Elliott just got a 2-year contract extension worth nothing compared to Minkah's. I believe that DeShon Elliott was the better player at the safety position. So that's a little bit telling of how much I think he's worth and how good and great I think he is. So, DeShon Elliott, after signing this contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers, he put out a statement on social media saying that he's grateful to the Rooney family, Omar Khan, and Coach Tomlin for bringing him into Pittsburgh and giving him a home. Thankful to be extended for 2 more years to play for the best organization and in front of the best fans in the NFL. So, DeShon Elliott, he makes that statement. He loves Pittsburgh, and he said it right away, right from when he got here. He said that this city was better than being in Baltimore. So, DeShon Elliott, he's a Steeler, and Steeler Nation has embraced him. So, he knows what it takes to be in AFC North football. He's been in it before. He was with the Ravens. He's been with the Steelers. He's that hard-nosed player, and that's why the Steelers loved him so much. They knew what he was able to bring because they saw him close up in action many times when they had to face him. And he's always been that same hard-nosed player that he was last year with the Steelers. So, in Pittsburgh, DeShon Elliott enjoyed his best year of his career. He played 15 games last season and started 14 of them. He recorded 108 tackles with 2 forced fumbles, 6 pass breakups, and 1 interception. He was a steady and sure tackler with one of the lowest missed tackle rates in the NFL while providing big hits expected and needed from a Steelers strong safety. So, DeShon Elliott had a missed tackle rate of 0.8%. And when you just look at this in terms of value, that's really big because the Pittsburgh Steelers seems as though they miss a lot of tackles. Or that's at least what we watch and we see from a fan perspective. It may not add up in terms of numbers, but just watching the game, it seems like we miss tackles a lot. But DeShon Elliott was able to clean that up and not miss tackles. And when he came down as a strong safety, you expect big hits from him. And usually big hits lead to missed tackles. But with him, no. He was secure, but also a big hit player. And he showed that with his 4 fumbles. So he was also able to contribute, like I said, in the passing game. Because usually a big guy like that coming up, you expect him to stop the run. But he's also someone who had 6 pass defense, 1 interception, was great at covering as well. And that's all you can really want from a player. To be able to stop the run and stop the pass. To be able to do both. And that's what he's able to do. So, Elliott, he's a player who's now in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform, but he was drafted by the Baltimore Ravens in the 6th round of the 2018 NFL Draft. And he was overlooked. 6th round. That's kind of crazy to where he's at right now. So he bounced around teams earlier in his career, spending time with the Detroit Lions and spending time with the Miami Dolphins and obviously the Ravens. So now he finds his true home with the Pittsburgh Steelers after signing this contract extension. And it's crazy because the Pittsburgh Steelers still have so much money to spend on defense, offense, or whatever it is. They still have so much cap space and money to spend that they could get contract extensions done for many players like Chris Boswell, Calvin Austin, TJ Watt, and more, and still have more money to spend. So the Pittsburgh Steelers could really add to this team and be playmakers and be contenders this season if they really build this team right. So the Pittsburgh Steelers are in a good spot right now in terms of what they're doing. I really like this re-signing, getting ahead of it, because usually if you wait to sign your guy, then the market value goes up. But because they get this deal done right away and secure him for the future, they get him at a good price and a bargain. And I believe, like I said, the best safety in Pittsburgh. But it is what it is. That's the end of this video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on this contract extension for DeShon Elliott. I believe this is a game changer. I believe he's an absolute freak, someone who could do it all. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on the extension. Do you think it's worth it? Do you think the Pittsburgh Steelers should have moved on from him? Should have went out and got somebody else to fill his role? Or do you believe this is a good price for him and he's been one of the best players and underrated players on this defense last season? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on this topic. Also, make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news, updates, highlights, analysis, reports, everything covering Pittsburgh Steelers football. I will cover it and have already covered it this offseason. Every camp highlight is on this channel with analysis, every new player's on the channel, every contract extension, everything. So that's why I covered this, because this is something new, something to look forward to. So stay tuned for more rumors, everything like that. And like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, like this video. And until next video, that's it for me. I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace.